One on Topstar and radio on 88.5 FM on the Copperbelt to 95.5 FM in Kapiriamposhi, Central Zambia on 95.1 FM. Nation's capital Lusaka on 95.3 FM and Livingston, the tourist capital, on 91.7 FM. DSTV audio channel 916 and GoTV audio channel 302. Zambia's first and finest visual radio. Everyone is not just listening, everyone is watching. Stay tuned. You are watching and listening. You are watching and listening to Sun FM TV.
We came, we saw, we conquered, and we continue to grow. Watch what you hear. Radio Gone TV. Sun FM TV would like to welcome the following towns to Top Star Channel 91. Ndola, Kitwe, Luanshya, Mufulira, Kalulushi, Chingola, Chililabombwe, Kapiriamposhi, Kabwe, Lusaka, Kafue, Choma, Mazabuka, Livingston, Chipata, Chinsali, Kasama, Mansa, Solwezi, and Mongu. Feel free to interact with us and let us know where you are watching from. Only on your Top Star Decoders Channel 91, Sun FM TV. Radio Gone Rogue. Radio Gone TV.
The news.
Government has officially lifted restrictions on the export of maize grain and maize products, including mealie meal, in a move aimed at supporting farmers and stimulating economic growth. The Civil Service Commission has assured that the recruitment of 3,205 health workers for 2025 was conducted fairly and transparently at district level, addressing corruption concerns raised by stakeholders. The Ministry of Community Development and Social Services has commenced the migration of newly enrolled social cash transfer beneficiaries from manual payment systems to digital platforms. In sports, defending champions Ghana's Black Damsels ended Zambia's under-15 girls continental title hopes with a hard-fought 1-0 victory in the semi-finals of the CAF African Schools Championship in Harare, Zimbabwe. The news in detail shortly.
The news, 88.5 Sun FM.
The news in detail. Government has officially lifted restrictions on the export of maize grain and maize products, including mealie meal, in a move aimed at supporting farmers and stimulating economic growth. Announcing the decision, the Ministry of Agriculture said the measure is designed to promote fair market access, improve household incomes, and strengthen the agro-processing sector. By allowing free exports, farmers will now be able to access more competitive markets both locally and internationally. Principal Public Relations Officer Valewa Ziulu emphasized that the policy shift is expected to particularly benefit small-scale farmers who rely on maize as a major source of livelihood. Mr. Ziulu added that it will also encourage a structured and regulated trade, thereby safeguarding national food security. He explained that all traders, millers, processors, and individuals are now free to export maize and related products to any market of their choice, subject to obtaining the required export permits. Exporters were reminded to ensure proper documentation at designated exit points, including Konkola checkpoint for Kasumbalesa-bound exports and other border posts nationwide.
The government of the Republic of Zambia has removed the restrictions on the export of maize grain and maize products, including meal meal. This progressive measure has been taken to support farmers, promote fair market access, and also improve incomes for ordinary Zambians, especially those involved in maize production and value addition. By allowing the free export of maize and its products, the government aims to enable the farmers to access better and more competitive markets both locally and internationally, improve household incomes, particularly for smallholder farmers who depend on maize as a major source of livelihood. This will stimulate economic activity in the agriculture.
The Civil Service Commission has assured that the recruitment of 3,205 health workers for 2025 was conducted fairly and transparently at district level, addressing corruption concerns raised by stakeholders. The Commission disclosed that government continues to pursue a transparent and inclusive recruitment method through human resource management committees at a provincial level and subcommittees at district levels nationwide. During a media briefing, Commission Chairperson Dr. Jolwe Beani emphasized that at district level, the HRM subcommittees were responsible for shortlisting and selecting suitable candidates, managing the database, and providing supporting documents for applicants. Dr. Beani revealed that a total of 240 medical doctors, 997 nurses, 194 registered midwives, and 390 clinical officers were recruited. He added that the Commission also effected 2,149 promotions and transfers, resulting in 2,205 first appointments into the civil service. He further stated that an additional 1,000 appointments arose from natural attrition, including retirements, resignations, unpaid leave, secondments, deaths, and non-renewal of contracts during the recruitment period.
This brings the total number of those recruited in this particular exercise to 3,205, broken down as follows. 1. Medical doctors, 240. Nurses, 997. Registered midwifery nurses, 194. Clinical officers, 390. Environmental health, 138. Laboratory staff, 140. Pharmacy staff, 138. Community health workers, 90. Dental staff, 32. Medical physicists, 49. Radiography, 43. Optometry staff, 51.
Government has commenced the migration of newly enrolled social cash transfer beneficiaries from manual payment systems to digital platforms following the expansion of the program, which now covers over 1.5 million households nationwide. Ministry of Community Development and Social Services Principal Public Relations Officer Glenda Nachinga said the transition is aimed at improving efficiency, transparency, and convenience in the delivery of social protection services. Ms. Nachinga said all newly enrolled beneficiaries are required to select a payment system or payment service provider, PSP, of their choice through which they will receive their cash transfers. She advised beneficiaries to visit their respective district social welfare officers to provide the required personal details and complete the registration process. Ms. Nachinga said social welfare officers will be available to guide beneficiaries in selecting the most suitable payment option. The Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry says government has taken bold steps to strengthen regional integration and economic cooperation under the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA. In alignment with the African Union's Agenda 2063, Zambia has expanded visa-free agreements with several African countries, reinforcing its commitment to building a united and prosperous continent. Principal Public Relations Officer Evanes Nankala highlighted that by removing visa requirements, Zambia is promoting the free movement of people across borders, an essential pillar for boosting intra-African trade, investment, and collaboration. Ms. Nankala said that this initiative makes it easier for business persons, tourists, and professionals to travel, while also fostering stronger people-to-people connections, knowledge exchange, and cross-border economic activities. In addition to mobility reforms, she said that the ministry is implementing a comprehensive set of trade facilitation measures to enhance Zambia's trade with African countries. These include the introduction of a mandatory pre-clearance and automation of entry at exit gates, supported by penalties of 4,000 kwacha for non-compliance to streamline border processes. The Authorized Economic Operators Program has also been introduced, allowing certified traders to benefit from priority processing at borders and customs points, thus reducing clearance times for imports and exports. Further improved border agency cooperation has reduced the number of agencies operating at border posts from approximately 18 to 6, cutting down dwell times for traders to just a few hours. To complement the reforms, government has invested heavily in border infrastructure development, with major upgrades completed at Kazungula, Mwami, and ongoing works at Chirundu, Kasumbalesa, Sakanya, Mokambo, and Nakonde.
This is in line with the African Union's Agenda 2063 and the AFCFTA objectives to promote regional mobility and economic integration. Now, by removing visa requirements, Zambia is actively ensuring that it promotes free movement of people, which is essential for facilitating intra-African trade, investments, as well as collaboration with other African countries.
Economist Henry Mulea has urged the government to reconsider the current use of the country's fuel infrastructure, warning that the absence of a functional oil refinery leaves Zambia vulnerable to global shocks. Mr. Mulea said that the decision to convert the Indeni oil refinery in Ndola into a mere conduit for fuel distribution has weakened the nation's energy security. He emphasized that government should revamp the Indeni facility for the benefit of the economy. He further called for a policy shift aimed at strengthening Zambia's energy resilience and safeguarding the country against future external supply disruptions.
With that done, I think, first of all, the strategic asset is going to be of higher value to the nation. But also, I think the operations will be more sustainable if it runs as a refinery. If you look at the arrangements in the current state, even though Indeni is being used as a conduit, there are private players also who are participating in this conveyance of fuel through the same pipeline that Indeni was relying for many years. And I think it would be a little bit unfair to the board and management of Indeni to be expected to operate at maximum point when government has left them vulnerable.
The Media Institute of Southern Africa, MISA Zambia, has released a report on the state of media freedom and freedom of expression in the country, describing the current environment as mixed with both progress and ongoing challenges. Speaking during the launch, MISA Zambia chairperson Lauren Chisanga said the report comes at a critical time as Zambia prepares for the 2026 general elections. She emphasized that a free, independent, and professional media remains key to strengthening democracy and ensuring citizens can access information and hold leaders accountable. Ms. Chisanga noted that while the report acknowledges growth in the media landscape, including increased participation and expansion of platforms, concerns remain over the operational environment. She revealed that 62% of journalists surveyed believe the media does not operate freely, pointing to continued constraints despite existing democratic frameworks.
Freedom of expression is not merely about the absence of restriction. It is about creating an environment where citizens, journalists, and institutions can engage openly, safely, and meaningfully. It is about ensuring that laws do not still fear, that institutions do not limit access, and that those who speak truth to power are protected rather than threatened. At MISA Zambia, we firmly believe that addressing these challenges requires a multi-stakeholder approach.
And delivering a speech on behalf of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Tabo Kawana, Director for Press and Media, Modern Mayembe, reaffirmed the government's commitment to improving access to information following the enactment of the Access to Information Act. He acknowledged that implementation of the law is still ongoing.
In this regard, it's important that assessments of press freedom and related rankings take into account this legal reality. Going forward, meaningful progress will depend on continued dialogue and cooperation among government, the media, civil society, and other stakeholders to domesticate relevant international standards into our national legal framework.
Meanwhile, the report raises concerns about the legal and regulatory environment, with 75% of respondents indicating that certain laws, particularly cyber-related legislation, restrict media operations. It further notes the growing influence of digital platforms, bloggers, and artificial intelligence, with 80% of media houses lacking AI policies, highlighting the need for clear guidelines as the industry evolves. Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo has called on for strengthening coordination in the implementation of development projects across the province. Speaking during the Provincial Development Coordinating Committee (PDCC) meeting held at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium, represented by Permanent Secretary Lawrence Mwanza, he described the meeting as critical in aligning development of efforts. He said the gathering is unique in its focus and scope, and it brings together stakeholders in partnership with the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment through the National Designated Authority to advance a collective development agenda. Mr. Mwanza directed the committee to conduct a thorough assessment of development projects in the province to ensure effective implementation. He also instructed all government
that several departments have either removed or failed to display the service charters. This practice undermines the public accountability and denies citizens their right to know expected service standards. Accordingly, I direct every department, agency, and local authorities to immediately display the service charter at all public offices and on official digital platforms, strictly comply with the service delivery standards.
Meanwhile, Ndola District Commissioner Precious Njekwa, speaking on behalf of all district commissioners on the province, said that the PDCC meeting provides stakeholders with an opportunity to review progress on ongoing projects and strengthen collaboration across sectors.
This meeting provides us with an opportunity to review progress on our development programs, address the implementation challenges, and strengthen coordination across sectors and enhance service delivery in the province. I encourage open and constructive engagement as we work together to find practical solutions that will accelerate development and improve the livelihoods of the people in the province.
The Energy Regulation Board, ERB, has taken enforcement action against the 29 companies for breaching license conditions and failing to meet statutory obligations. The measures follow compliance audits aimed at ensuring adherence to operational standards under the Energy Regulation Act. ERB Public Relations Manager Namokolo Kasumpa explained that among the penalties, Uno Energies was fined 180,000 kwacha for fuel contamination and failure to conduct mandatory quality checks. ZESCO received 100,000 kwacha fine for failing to establish and maintain appropriate safety systems. Further, Harvest Group of companies was fined 60,000 kwacha each at its Tokyo Way and Bulue Road sites for construction violations, while Sunny International was fined 60,000 kwacha for building an electricity generation facility without a permit. Mrs. Kasumpa added that 8 companies, including Chingase's company and Ruby's Energy, were issued formal warnings for failing to submit self-audit reports as directed by the ERB in February 2025. Additionally, 15 firms settled outstanding statutory fees amounting to 366,507 kwacha, 25 ngwe, covering license fees, strategic reserve fund contributions, and fuel marking fees. We take a break and return with sports.
Did you know that you can still watch your favorite shows from anywhere, anytime? Yes! Just download the StarTime's own app from Google Play or Apple Store, then register. You can link your DTT or DTH decoder to up to 3 devices by entering your smart card number and the last 6 digits of your decoder serial number. Then voila! You're good to go. You can also pay for your subscription, change your preferred bouquet, and other self-services on the app. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Top Star. Enjoy digital life.
In sports, defending champions Ghana's Black Damsels ended Zambia's under-15 girls continental title hopes with a hard-fought 1-0 victory in the semi-finals of the CAF African Schools Championship in Harare, Zimbabwe. Zambia fell behind as early as the 7th minute when Blessings Tete capitalized on a defensive lapse. Goalkeeper Winfrida Mutale misjudged what appeared to be a routine cross, only to see the ball sail into the back of the net. Stung by the early setback, Zambia responded by piling pressure on the Ghanaian defense. Striker Faida Muzua came close to restoring parity, but her effort rattled the crossbar, much to the frustration of the Zambian bench. Winger Peggy Banda, a fan favorite, dazzled down the left flank with her trademark runs, but she too failed to break through Ghana's resolute backline. At the final whistle, emotions ran high in the Zambian camp, with players visibly distraught. Head coach Chisala Chibesa and goalkeeper Mutale were among those left inconsolable after the narrow defeat. Speaking after the match, Chibesa praised his team's effort despite the result. Team captain Rebecca Mbutao also reflected positively on the experience. Zambia will now turn their attention to their third-place playoff, where they face Morocco on Friday morning at 10 hours as they seek to salvage bronze. Meanwhile, Ghana will take on Burkina Faso in the final, setting up a rematch after the West Africans suffered a 1-0 defeat to the same opponents during the group stages. That sports item brings us to the end of this edition of the news. To end, we recap on the headlines. Government has officially lifted the restrictions on the export of maize, grain, and maize products, including mealie meal, in a move aimed at supporting farmers and stimulating economic growth. The Civil Service Commission has assured that the recruitment of 3,205 health workers for 2025 was conducted fairly and transparently at district level, addressing corruption concerns raised by stakeholders. The Ministry of Community Development and Social Services has commenced the migration of newly enrolled social cash transfer beneficiaries from manual payment systems to digital platforms. And in sports, the defending champions Ghana's Black Stars Damsels ended Zambia's under-15 girls continental title hopes with a hard-fought 1-0 victory in the semi-finals of the CAF African Schools Championship in Harare, Zimbabwe. That's where we end. My name is Alan Wallet. Do have a great one and stay tuned to Sun FM TV.
88.5 Sun FM.
Time is power. Our lives are powered by the sun. As the sun rises, so do we. It's time to power your life and say goodbye to blackouts with a new Topstar solar solution, the H50 hybrid system. Enjoy a safe and reliable solar solution at home or your business with the Topstar hybrid inverter, lithium battery, and 550